Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, this channel focuses on the ins and outs of living abroad in the beautiful country of Poland. Now today I'm going to share with you 5 things that I absolutely love about going to university in Poland. Let's get started. So as you know or may not know, I go to the University of Opole here in Poland, and I study what would be equivalent to linguistics or English studies in the USA. Now, I've mentioned this in a video already. However, the one thing that I absolutely love about studying here in Poland is the affordability. University is 101% affordable, and it allows me to pay as I go. Now, I won't get into much detail as I've already done a video about affordability here in Poland when it comes to going to university. And if you're interested in that video, I will go ahead and link it down in the description box below. The second thing I love about going to university here in Poland is that when you go to a Polish university, or in most European universities that I'm aware of, is that you're given a fixed schedule. So I know if you go to the school in the USA, there's a list of classes that you have to take, and then so you have to pick classes in specific categories in order to graduate. But here in Poland, you're given a fixed schedule. So that means that you don't have to go through the hassle or go through the extra thinking of going through a list of classes that you need to graduate. Those classes are given to you automatically. And the freedom of that is that, one, I've noticed that in America at some universities, it's hard to graduate on time because you have to make sure that you have all those requirements kind of lined up. Versus here in Poland, as long as you pass your classes, there's no way that you're not going to graduate on time. Now, with this system, you do lack some freedom. Obviously, in the USA and universities, you have a bit more freedom to kind of tailor your degree or tailor your education to kind of fit your needs and your interests. Versus here in Poland, we do have some elective classes that we do get to pick. However, the amount of elective classes that we have are limited, but it does guarantee that we graduate on time. I'm completely aware that my case is special when it comes to this next aspect, and that I go to school on a part-time basis, and I'm in what they would call, it's called part-time. However, so that means that our hours are reduced just slightly for the degree. In addition to that, the classes or my courses are held on the weekends, so on Saturday and Sunday. And so therefore, the amount of students in my course is a lot smaller than the amount of students who go during the week, or you would call full-time students. However, even with that, I've noticed when I applied to universities here in Poland, and I applied to about 3 or 4 programs, and in addition to that, I looked at several different programs across Poland, and I also looked at programs in Spain. I believe I looked at some programs in Italy, France, and Portugal. And I found that the size of the classes are significantly smaller than class size in America. Now, I'm not just talking about like the class size for a specific course, but I'm talking about the class size for like the graduating class of a specific year. So my graduating class for this program at the University of Pole would be in 2000 and I believe 2023 is when my class is going to graduate, and that class is relatively small in comparison to other classes that would exist in the States. Number 4 on my list is the fact that university in Poland, specifically for your bachelor degree or your undergraduate degree, only lasts for 3 years. So therefore, when you're studying here in Poland versus in the United States and in Australia and in other countries, typically the bachelor program is 4 years. Here in Poland, it's 3 years. Now, there are some benefits and disadvantages to having a 3-year program. A 3-year program means that things are your classes and you're jumping into the material a lot faster, and you don't have opportunities maybe for internships and maybe extracurricular classes or extracurricular activities provided by the university that kind of support your education. But it does guarantee that you're jumping into university and you're exiting university at a much rapid speed, In addition to that, because you're only spending 3 years at university, you're saving lots of money because you're not spending an extra year in university. So you're not spending on tuition, but you're also not spending it on the related costs, such as like living expenses and other expenses related to studying. This next factor kind of relates to several of the other factors that I've already mentioned, and this is that there is a less social distance between students and their professors. Now, I think one reason that this is that there is a smaller class size. So having a smaller class size makes it where you're not just a number to your professors, but you are a person and you are someone that they recognize, or they recognize your work, or they recognize your assignments. So that's something that I had to get kind of accustomed to really quickly. And the fact that when I studied in the USA, I really did feel like a number. And if I wanted to be acquainted with the professor, or if I wanted my instructor or professor to know me, I really had to like make an effort. Versus here in Poland, you don't have to make an effort. My class right now is composed of 11 students. I think initially when the program opened, there were about 18 of us. And as time progressed, especially in the first month, a lot of students did drop out. So now there's 11 of us. And so therefore, we really do have a more intimate relationship with our professors, which makes learning a bit better if you are, into knowing your professors, and you feel comfortable with your professors really knowing you and really knowing your work ethic and really knowing the quality of your work. I understand that some of the factors that I mentioned may not make it an ideal environment for other people to study. And there are some aspects of studying in Poland, and even specifically studying at the University of Opole, that are not great for me and that have posed some challenges. And I hope to mention that in a much later video. However, for now, I'm really happy with the program, and I'm happy with the fact that Poland is a bit different than the United States when it comes to education. And because of those factors, it has made it more accessible and affordable for me. If you're thinking about studying, specifically if you don't have a lot of income, or if you're going to get support from your family and they don't have a lot of income, studying here in Poland is a great opportunity for you to get a world-class education at a fraction of the cost. In addition to that, having an education here is going to give you a totally different perspective. And even if you are studying a specific field here, you're going to get more of a European perspective. And in addition to that, if you're studying in Poland, you're going to get a Polish perspective. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And I can't wait to see you next week.